So it's been a minute since we showed you guys the pigs, but quick pig update. They're going good. They're I think only 2 weeks out from going in. They go in on the 17th. So I guess 3 weeks. They're a little smaller. This is our first time doing winter pigs. Normally we do them in the summer, but we had to make a change to accommodate butcher dates. It's just too hard getting in the fall. They get pretty busy with 4-H stuff. And most people's programs run on a harvest in the fall, I guess you could say. So in order for us to continue doing pigs, we switched our program and we do winter pigs now. And it was all right. They get a lot less garden scraps, as you could imagine. So we had to supplement them with some hay, which I was surprised that they do quite enjoy, as you can tell. Gives them a little bit of forage and green. Get out of here. And so they've done well. With this warm spring that we've had, you can see that they've pretty well destroyed this pen, which I wasn't anticipating. Usually it's still pretty cold by this time of year, but it won't be too bad. What we're gonna do is probably the last week before they go in is we'll come through and we'll rake in all the big spots that they've rooted right up. We'll kind of just rake it around to smooth it out a little bit, and then we'll seed this. And then that last week that they'll be in here, they'll kind of punch some of that seed into the ground. And then hopefully it comes back later in the spring, and then we can run our 4-H lambs in this little run out pen as well and let them eat it down. So we'll hopefully see how that goes for us this year, but yeah. As you can see, we ended up bringing in the rest of those 2 pallets of dirt. There's, 30 on the pallet, and they're 55 pounds a piece. So like 4,500 pounds worth of dirt we brought in here. Everything in regards to dirt, well, everything here is done by hand. We don't have a tractor or any pieces of equipment at this point. So what we end up doing is we rent a skid steer at the beginning of every season when our shipment's going to come in. We unload it, stack a couple where we need it, and then stockpile the rest kind of out of the way. And then as the nursery needs them, we just bring them over by the side-by-side. So it ends up being quite a bit of manual labor, but at this point it just makes sense. We originally, when we first started out with this nursery, we would just load up Old Rusty and go down to the coast, and we'd sometimes have to make 3 trips. We'd be able to fit 2 pallets at a time in when we were kind of at a scale of 5 pallets a year. We make numerous trips down and then try to time it where we were picking up our plugs at the same time. So, a load of dirt plus our plugs, and then a load of dirt plus our pots and trays. But now that doesn't make sense to make that many trips. So what we ended up having to do is actually buy a half a semi-load at a time, which is 14 pallets. 11 to 14 is kind of what the minimum is allowed to be. And then we just get them delivered all at once. It's way less work. Like, we would have to basically unpallet it, load it into the trailer, and then handle it to restack it here, and then grab it again to, like, it's just ridiculous at a certain point. So we still got to do a bit of manual labor, but it's good exercise if nothing else. We're gonna try to get the last 2 loads of dirt in here to finish this up. The gravel all turned out good. I might still look at building a shelf maybe under here, just for storage. And then outside you can see that still got all these tables here that need to come in, clean up all this. And then what I might do, just because there's still a bit of weed pressure up along the side of these greenhouses, is I might just lay some landscape fabric down here this year. At least until the seedling sale, try to kill that grass, and then I can bring in some more sand and gravel just to top things up. Okay, well, we got the outside pretty well cleaned up. I still gotta get rid of that table and then pull all the tables in, but I'm gonna wait until we get the dirt in here. But as you can tell, it hasn't really warmed up today, so we're gonna kind of jump here. I need to get a shelf underneath this table for storage, because right now everything gets stored up on top of here and it kind of takes away from the till space. So I have this old stainless steel drawer that came on a stainless steel table that I bought for our on-farm slaughter facility. I didn't really need the drawer, so I took it off. And this is the piece that slides in. So the only catch here is that you can see that there's this lip on the top and the bottom. So trying to get anything in there to seal that bottom off is going to be a little tricky. I think what I might do is cut some strips of wood, maybe 1x4s, see if I can put them in on an angle and then turn them into place, and then just kind of put this in almost like a wood floor. And then I can just silicone the edge to keep them from sliding around. And then I got an old piece of rubber matting that I might be able to put on top of that. And then it'll have a nice under-till drawer. And it also has a locking piece on the side here. It'll be kind of nice. So I'll see about mounting that kind of under the table here. So each one of these boards is 3.5. I got 7.5 inches left, so I'm gonna end up with a weird little strip. So what I might do is make that strip a little bit bigger than I need to and try and force this nice and tight. And then I might not have to worry about these sliding back and forth. Well, I think that turned out pretty good. I don't have any silicone or anything right now, but I think this will eventually just probably fill with dirt or shit to keep those in. They seem pretty tight. I don't think they'll slide around too much. Plus there's that 1-inch catch on the bottom, so it's not like anything can fall right through. So the only thing I'm looking at now is just overall length. The table itself is 29. This is 26, so I got a bit of room, and what I'm thinking is I'd like the edge of this shelf or this drawer to be just under the lip, just under here. I don't want it to stick out, so I got to set the actual frame of the cabinet or the drawer back slightly so that this piece is flush with the front. So I'll get that laid out now. Well, I think that turned out pretty good. It'll work out all right. It stuck under a little bit more. I ended up deciding to go flush with this backside. I hope it doesn't hinder me when I decide to sheet the back of this with that tin. So I think what I'll start doing now is just scab on a few 2x4s onto there for some backing for that tin all the way along the top. And then I still got to figure out what to do on this backside here, because this this brace post for the furnace sits in quite a bit from the support. The table just sits on this unitrack, so I got to build something kind of here to support the tin on this side. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do there yet. Maybe a 4x4 along the bottom. Okay, so I just finished supporting up this back corner here, front corner I guess it'd be. Doesn't need to be anything too structural at this point. We're just looking for basically material and backing for the tin to get screwed to. The tabletop itself is already supported structurally. It was there before, so we're just framing in and around so that when I get the tin on, I have something to screw to on the corners on both ends. And then I think I have a little bit of angle flashing that I'll be able to trim the corner out where the two pieces of tin meet. And then we can jump around to the inside, do a bit more framing up for the shelving that'll be accessed from the inside of that till area. So I got a little bit more to run along the bottom here and a little strip on the back of the, behind the shelf. I got to rip down a little piece of 1x4, and then we should be able to grab that piece of tin and slap it on. Well, there you have it, guys. I think that turned out pretty darn good. Not perfect, nothing fancy, but it serves the purpose, seals it off. Got access to a new shelf. I'm pumping the brakes a little bit on the extra shelving in here. I think we'll see how this goes. We'll see if we need anything more. For now, I think I'll just leave it like this. See what the girls think when they're in here running the till. If they feel like they need more storage, more shelving, we can always come back and address it. But for now, I'm going to call that a wrap, and we'll finish off this dirt, and then I think this building's going to be good to go for a bit. We'll get the baskets in here and then move on to the next project.